The new 2026 budget is here.
New Income Tax Act.
The much needed, much wanted relief.
First time in the history of independent India,
The taxpayer will need to pay.
What does this mean for middle class? And we'll cover the most important things you need to know in 8 minutes. When such big events happen, the internet goes kind of crazy. They look at the headlines, make a shot, and suddenly you have all this misinformation on the internet. The truth is, when a big event happens, you should read the fine print. So this is what we've done. Instead of giving our interpretation of it, the entire team has not just looked at headlines. We've seen the entire announcement, then actually taken the text and just giving you that text. No exaggeration, no noise. We'll just make your life simple and just not complicated. So let's get started. First, we'll start with the tax change. पहले है हमारे पास STT, which is basically अगर आपके पास कोई F&O दोस्त है, anyone who trades F&O futures and options, or a really rich guy, or an FII, anyone who trades F&O for hedging or regularly, he will be affected. So please थोड़ा उसके आंसू पोंछ दो. The cost has gone up. So selling options is more expensive. Option premium charges go from 0.10% to 0.15%. If the option is exercised, that also becomes expensive. And if you're selling futures in some 63 stocks, that is also now expensive. So basically, price has become higher because government takes a higher take in it now on every single trade. So why is the government doing this? Well, the government has been quite clear on this stance. They've released a paper which says 9 out of 10 traders actually lose money, and they want to generally reduce speculation, especially with the retail clients. So this is one way to actually discourage the average person who's not spending time on education to understand what this is, and just discouraging them because the cost is now more expensive to do this. Next, we have taxation on sovereign gold bonds. As you know, everyone's going nuts on silver and gold, and look at that price chart. My goodness, everyone thinks they should have bought. But let's have a look at SGBs. Now, sovereign gold bonds were basically introduced so that people do not buy physical gold and that hoarding problem does not happen. They actually keep it and that money is circulating in the economy. And it was pretty good. You would get some interest every year. It was backed by the government, so safety to thai. And it's gold. People in India love gold. And the most important thing was that there was no capital gains on it, which is crazy. You're not paying tax on it. But this is now changed. So now basically we have two situations. We have person A who took from a primary issue from the RBI and he redeems at maturity. This person does not pay tax. The second person who bought it from the market, if they bought it from the market, even if they redeem it at maturity, which is several years from now, then after 1st of April 2026, whatever is the price difference, you will pay tax on it. Then we have changes in the tax collected at source. Simply put, when a buyer and seller engage in a specific transaction, we have timber, scrap metals, which are specific goods. And then we have transactions like foreign remittance, etc. In these transactions, when the buyer is buying, he only pays an extra amount called the TCS, or the tax collected at source. The seller collects this, deposits it with the government, and that's that. There are some changes here. Like, look at this table. Sale of alcoholic liquor for humans goes from 1% to 2%. But I still know people will still drink because jinko drink karna drink karenge. Then we have sale of tendu leaves. To be honest, I did not know what this is. मैंने Google किया and tendu leaves. And this is what I got. Diospyros melexos तो नहीं समझ आया. And then I went down, it says, tendu leaves are used as a wrapper for BD. Okay, so BD connection. So that goes from 5% to 2%, it actually reduces. Then we have sale of scrap. It goes from 1% to 2%. There's an increase here. Sale of minerals being coal or lignite or iron ore, 1 to 2%. Then we have remittance under the liberalized remittance scheme. Basically, this is when an Indian wants to send money abroad. Now, why would we want to send? It could be for a medical purpose, could be for studying, maybe your kids are studying abroad, maybe you want to study abroad, could be for share investments, could be to buy a property. Now, what's interesting is that they are saying that TCS has reduced for LRS from 5% to 2%. This is not true. If you look at this table, which we've taken out from the official source, 5% to 2% is only for education and medical treatment. for everything else, it remains at 20%. The other change is the change in tax filing due date. And some people were really happy about this. Yaar, change ho gaya. It's not so. ITR 1 and ITR 2, which is most of the country, nothing changes. It's still 31st July. But I think the change is non-audit business cases or trusts. Their due date for filing of return is proposed to be extended from 31st July to 31st August. तो उनके लिए भी कुछ खास change नहीं है. It's basically 1 month. Okay, I guess. Then we have sectors. Now, actually, there are quite a lot of things I have over here. I have biopharma, I have semiconductors, I have rare earth metals, chemicals. And I've put the note in the description. But I thought I'll tell you what I think was interesting. So I'll just cover the parts that I thought were something you should know. First is medical tourism. So here it says, the scheme will support states in establishing 5 hubs for medical value tourism in partnership with the private sector. This is interesting because India has always had this cost arbitrage for the world कि यार India में सस्ता हो जाएगा and the doctors are very good. I also think we need more doctors and facilities, but if the government is thinking about medical tourism as a thing, this is actually really positive for the country. Then we have Ayush, 3 All India Institutes for Ayurveda and upgrading pharmacies, drug testing, etc. This was quite interesting, including training. Then we have the orange economy. By far, this is the most interesting. I think India is where the next Disney, Pixar, etc. is going to come out. We already have some great studios in the country, but now seeing this in the budget was kind of crazy. We're talking about AVGC content creator labs in 15,000 secondary schools and 500 colleges. I want you to think about this. Think about it. In school, आपके क्या clubs होते थे? Music class, there was robotics maybe for those fancy schools, science lab, etc. Now they'll have this thing called content creator labs. Creatives in our country is not given the same tabajju, weightage, as the sciences. For the first time, this is a thing, and they're calling it the orange economy. I didn't even know it's called the orange economy. So this is quite interesting, and I think a lot of private players will now do stuff around creatives, not just content creation. So that's quite interesting. Then in the education side, we have 5 university townships. Fantastic. A girls' hostel in higher education STEM institutions. मुझे लगा, what's the big deal in this? Then I saw, in every district. India has some 800 plus districts. That's pretty crazy. Finally, I've got to show you something that probably no one will show you. And this is, we'll switch to this. Okay, hi guys. This is what I was reading from, and this is the studio. I want you to see the entire team over here. Say hi, guys. I'll show them to you. Aaj Sunday hai. We were so freaked out कि आज interesting stuff we'll put out. To be honest, we didn't really get a lot of interesting stuff in the budget. Right? I mean, we're thinking कि direct taxes में कुछ होगा. There'll be something. To be honest, it was a very just normal budget. There weren't a lot of things to actually explain. And we really enjoy explaining stuff. So we tried to do our best. But look at the rest of the office over here. You can see people are waiting. They're actually editing the video that you're probably watching right now. My point was, we try to simplify finance by making it easy for everyone to understand. But I think in this budget, we didn't find anything. But now we're going to have a nice party, have a nice Sunday lunch, supper. And I hope you found whatever we did today slightly more interesting. So if you didn't, can you do me a favor? Can you write in the comments, 01 cuties, thank you for making the effort, because all these guys are really working hard. And to be honest, my job is the easiest. I just get something research and I try to explain it to you. Inka kaam bahut mushkil hai. And they're called the orange economy. That's really cool. Tell me what else we should build. See you in the next episode.